Borada. So, yeah, I, still have henna on my head from last night. I've been working on, this, shawl pattern for a couple of days. I started on that one Saturday, after, uh, um, 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 after this one here. So this is the um from the pattern, and unfortunately, this book here, it will this book here, it tells you like how many skeins a so let me just pull up this pattern as an example. So okay, it gives the finished dimensions. Wait, no, it does. Okay, my bad. So wait, no. Okay, yeah. So okay, it does give yards per skein. So okay, that was my bad. Cause yeah, I I've been using this yarn, but I got this one in white because you see the one that I'm using in it is silver, so two different colors, and I got the white one for a oh, that one. So I got the white for a second shawl that I wanted to make for a friend, and I wanted to dye the white version of that yarn green. Excuse me. So yeah, I'm gonna need to get a second skein in what's that called? In both white and silver to do the second shawl for a friend. So so yeah, uh, unfortunately, um, the this this Vanna's Glamour by Lion is like, I guess Joanne is trying to liquidate their stock of it. I only see it on consistently on the Lion website in adequate quantities. So that's why I've taken a break um, on the other one, but I've still got the one here that's in this variegated jewel tones. I'm still working on this, but something in the pattern was written improperly, and so I have to go back and excuse me. So I have to unravel the row I've started on and go back to it, but possibly due to the fact that the yarn I'm using for this one is a little bit on the fuzzier side, so it's I don't know, it's just a pain in the ass. So so that's why I started on yet another shawl, even though I got, let's see, one that's almost done, but that's more like a wrap, so that's from this pattern here. I'm almost done. I've got a few more rows with that one to do, and then it's done. But for some reason, this pattern, even though it's much, much simpler, has been aggravating the carpal tunnel syndrome neuropathy that I've got in my hands. So, I don't know. So I kind of like, that one's been slower to work, and I don't understand, because like I said, it's a much simpler pattern. It's just like single stitches, and though there are a couple blocks with alternating single and double, so you get this kind of textured effect going on it. But like I said, it's a much, much simpler pattern. Hello, Shauna. Yeah, I've still got henna from last night when I did my hair. I don't know if you saw the thing, the title for the last night's live stream, but I did not get around to dyeing the jeans. I figure I'll do that next week over live stream. I just got distracted talking about cats and family. Well, first family and then on cats. And I got talking about my cat who died, the same winter I got Nigel. Nigel was abandoned as a kitten on my old street in Lansing. At least I'm going from that assumption rather than him getting genuinely lost from his family, because I figure if he did my good faith effort to see if he was lost, would have turned up somebody, but no, my guess is somebody just dumped him on my old street in Lansing because it had a reputation for having a bunch of stray and feral cats, and that was about 7 years ago, this month actually, and Nigel's right here, and I am disrobed, so that's why I'm not turning around the camera, just in case. But yeah, my cat Vermin, she died that winter. She had cancer in her jaw. The tumor was in the bone of her jaw, and but yeah, that was the same winter I got Nigel. In fact, I got Nigel Nigel came up the same day I got Vermin's biopsy results back, and oh, hi, Siska! Hi! Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen you in the chats. Please tell me that this is going to, yeah, it always defaults to top chat. I don't know why, but, okay. There's nothing really that I missed. Okay. Yeah, last night I was, live streaming, whilst, dyeing my hair with henna, which is why it's still on my head from last night, because you can do that with henna, and your hair will still be fine. I'm sorry, I've got psoriasis on the sides of my nose, and it's really flaking up, and I don't know why. I've been neglecting to add a little bit of my cream onto my nose lately, but I have been. I don't know. So, oh gosh, this is going to be a night of videos because, okay, so the post office is closed today because it is, Columbus/Indigenous Peoples Day in the United States. So the post office takes a holiday, and the time difference is a bummer. Glad to. Oh yeah. Oh, it's no problem. I usually, when I do my evening streams on Sundays, it's usually at an odd time for people even in my time zone, just because I am usually in bed at 4 a.m. and don't get up until about noon, and so, for, Southeast Michigan, so we're the, Eastern U.S. time zone, that is, my day is about, like, offset by about 6 hours from the rest of, Michigan, so, where was I going with that? So yeah, I'm used to operating on an odd time for most people, so it doesn't surprise me at all that, I mean, heck, even the long distance situation I've got going with a young man, 12 years my senior. And my latest ex, the one I was whining about most of this year, he's 15 years my junior, so clearly I have a type, and that type is whoever is just crazy enough to deal with my nonsense, right? So, so what was I saying? Yeah, last night I did not get around to dyeing my jeans. I figure I'll do that, this coming Sunday. So, so then what happens? Cause yeah, I got talking about Vermin, and she was the cat that I had, the same winter Nigel came into my life. Yes, love. He's over there staring at me. He doesn't like to be on camera. Every time I get out the camera, even if it's just to take a, still picture of him being adorable, at least 2 out of 3 times, he decides, nope, not taking pictures of me. My Nigel time is just for me and Nigel, apparently. least if you ask Nigel. Because whenever he wants to be cute on my lap, or, you know, anything, I don't know. He seems to know when I don't know. He used to be in a lot of Instagram photos, but I don't know. Yeah. He's an odd boy, but he's my favorite boy, so I love him. And but yeah, Vermin was my cat. She died first week of 2013, so yeah, like first week of January 2013. And but yeah, Nigel came into my life that same winter. My guess is somebody abandoned him on my old street in Lansing, Michigan, when he was about 4 months old. And I'm just taking a guess on his age at the time because, first off, he was obviously a kitten. Secondly, it's usually, like usually when you're trying to age a kitten, it's usually a good rule of thumb that until about 9 or 10 months of age, 1 pound a month is usually a fair guess on a kitten's age. So Nigel was like a hair over 6 pounds when my friend Scott and I took him to the okay, yeah, that is these to the Humane Society in Lansing to get him neutered. So yeah, he came into the house. The story is on last night's stream. The story, I'm pretty sure the story is on the video where I introduced people to my cats that I made, like, oh gosh, about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. I am the heaviest I've ever been. Yeah, probably about 2 years ago. I should do an updated version of that, because I did an updated version of my own personal intro to my video. So yeah, I should probably do an updated version to introduce people to the cats. But yeah, I gave the story about Nigel. He just kind of invited, well, I invited him in. He came in because he needed to use the litter box. That is literally what happened. And like one of the main reasons I think he was abandoned, because he didn't know how to take a crap outside like a normal cat in his situation would have eventually figured out. Yeah. Came right in, used the litter box, and decided this was his home now. So, yeah, he's my boy. He's my good boy. He's my big, beautiful boy. He's my favorite boy. And, but yeah, I got distracted last night talking about Vermin, and she was a really sweet cat. She was a really special, sweet cat, and she's one of those cats. I had a friend once compare her to like a puppy, because yeah, that's kind of like her personality. She really loved people. She thought people were the greatest, most wonderful things in the world, you know, most wonderful creatures in the world. And she really loved people, and all she wanted to do was just like be affectionate to the people that she knew, and even people she didn't know. She loved her people. And even like there were friends of ours, mine and Scott, who typically did not like cats, but would always say, if you ever need to rehome this one, I can take her off your hands for you. Or I'm like, no, we love Vermin. She's our sweet girl. She's the little princess. She was. But yeah. Unfortunately, she had an inoperable tumor, and the vet in Lansing, he said that, it was one of those hyper-aggressive tumors that, at best, there might have been like 36 hours where it would have been operable, so... I am not honest and certain about how much I eat. Okay, I'll... That I'm lying to him. So my meds got adjusted again. The Adderall I'm now taking in addition to the 20. No, that's not it. Okay, so in addition to the 25 milligram capsules with breakfast, which I took before I started the video, I'm also taking now a 5 milligram tablet with lunch, but I still have a few of the 10 milligram tablets left over. We tried 10 milligram, but at around the time I usually have lunch. Of course, lately, this last like the last couple weeks before we went to the um, like things were starting to get straightened out with my sleep schedule, but when it was still like the full 10, um, it was getting hard to sleep at my usual time. Like there were a couple days I was up until damn near 6 a.m. So we went. So we took that down to 5 milligrams, and I'd overestimated how many 10s I had left. So, or underestimated how many 10s I had left. So I got the 5 milligram filled because I can, because it is technically a different prescription. But as far as the so I can just break those in half and use half of a 10 as a 5. So but I am killing myself. And I can't stop it. Okay. I think I'm gonna wrap up this stream because I really need to get in the shower and I want to finish another row of this and then get in the shower to get the henna out of my head. And let me just quick. Okay. Okay, Siska. Siska lost her cat 3 years ago. Still miss him. Oh, I understand. I cannot get a cat anymore because of problems with my health. Oh, I understand. I cannot care good for them, but the home feels empty. Oh, I understand that. Yeah, my well, my sister who's still alive, yeah, she really shouldn't have pet. Well, she lives with her mother and also her daughter, so my little niece. Now Ruby kept the pregnancy because, um, long story short, due to a number of health concerns, Ruby thought she wouldn't even get pregnant. She was also, Ruby's about 7 years older than me, and her daughter is 5 this year, just turned 5 this summer. So, long story short, Ruby obviously was, okay. Ruby obviously did not think, yeah, it was like 42 when her daughter was born. She, like, so, like, this was like a geriatric pregnancy, under medical terms. And she also thought, due to various medical concerns, she would have even been able to get pregnant, especially at that age. So, kind of just like the stubbornness from our dad's side, like, outweighed her better judgment to, abort. Well, plus she always wanted to be a mom too, so, there's also the emotional aspect of that as well. But yeah, so she and her mother both have bipolar disorder. I don't know what type. I know her mother still calls it manic depression because that's when Norma was diagnosed with it. Was when it was still called manic depression, like diagnostically, like in the DSM or whatever manual they were having then for it. So yeah, like Ruby basically spent half the year with us until she was like a sophomore in high school, something like that. So yeah, I understand, like, if you've got various like mental health or even physical health concerns that make it not a good idea to take care of pets, but it still feels lonely when you don't have them. If you still like really, I don't know. Well, I would suggest fish, but fish are actually a lot more work than a lot of people think. Uh, um, in theory, once an aquarium is settled, you shouldn't need to change the water more than once a month, but depending on the fish. So basically, fish are a lot of research, and for the first 3 to 6 months, the aquarium is going to be not necessarily assumed. So if your issue is more about um, time and getting things, oh yeah, all animals do need the best of care. So yeah, like fish are a lot of more research than a lot of people assume, and the first 3 to 6 months are a lot more work than a lot of people assume. I've had fish, um, off and on. Currently, I have none. The latest betta I had died at about 6 months since I had him. Basically, he got while I do, while I am usually pretty good about keeping all of the aquarium decor and everything straightened out, um betta splendens are really intelligent for a fish that size. Um so yeah, like they're like their body length is no more than about 2.5 inches, maybe three for the king betta varieties, which are basically like a they're basically closer to the wild version of the species. So they get little bit less selective breeding for prettiness and more selective breeding to retain the wild size. So that's why they call them king betta. Plus, they kind of, I don't know, they've got scale patterns that tend to be a bit more dragon-like, which um but where's the fins on the really pretty breeds of betta splendens? Those also have this kind of dragony aspect to them, which I understand, like why um um Thailand really started cultivating them, because they're just gorgeous fish. But yeah, for a fish about that size, excluding fins, they're really intelligent, and they're one of the times, like I was even talking to the girl at Petco when she was like first at Petco. Like a lot of people ask me about my cats because they know I have three. When I've had fish, occasionally one of the fish people will ask me about how's the fish doing as well. And the last time the one of their fish people asked me about the fish, I said he died, and it took me the longest time to, like, I figured out he was dead before I saw the body. I'll put it that way. I figured out he was dead before I saw the body, and um and I was just like, I realized I hadn't seen him in like 3 or 4 days, and I go like with the little net, digging around in there, realizing, okay, so there's food that's been settling at the top for 3 days. I haven't seen him for 3 days. Where did this fish go? And she says, oh yeah, like sometimes you can even like this, like wedge it right down into the gravel, but they'll find a way to, if you've got like any kind of like statuary or castle in there for him to hide in, they'll find a way to somehow to get stuck in there every once in a while. So it's like, yeah, he's been dead a good, oh god, when did I figure out hi Nigel, I love you. I want to say June. I figured out that he was an ex-beta. Hi. We've got Nigel over there blinking at me, which is kind of cat sign language for I love you. And Murnau is here because he knows I'm talking to peoples. Hi. You're a cutie, aren't you? But yeah, I gotta let you go, wash my hair, finish a row on my shawl, and I don't know if I'm gonna film a get ready with me tonight before that. Please don't. He's after my yarn. Um, I'm really entertained that these cats understand. Please don't. Right? Right? I don't know if I'm gonna film a get ready with me on my way out to the club tonight. I do intend to go to the club tonight. I'm pretty sure the bus runs today. The post office does not, but assuming the bus runs, I may or may not shoot a get ready with me, but before I leave, um, at the very latest after I get back home, because I need to do some farting around on my phone make sure I have plenty of space. I am definitely going to buckle down and shoot that book review I've been meaning to since about June or July, something like that. All right. So, okay, yeah, 25 minutes. This is one of my shorter live streams in a long time.
Right, Meow. Right. Aren't you cute? You're so cute. Yes, you are. Yes. But you want attention. You get more attention. Okay. I'm not gonna stop that joke. Yes. Oh, Furfy. He's so flashy. Not bad. I love you.
Nigel's just over there staring at me, and I don't know why.
Hi, lover boy. No.
Yeah, I know. Well, thanks. I wish you have a good day too. That would be wonderful if you did. All right, everybody, take care. Goodbye.